I so man's name David wanted me to do a build uh, explanation, I guess. So we start with, I guess, the attributes. We've got 3 body, 20 in reflexes, technical, and int, and 8 cool. So the 8 cool is mostly just to get. 7 cool's enough. 8 gave us move speed and res, but and maybe some cyberware, I forget. But 7 gets you assassin, which is 15% more damage to humans. Most enemies are humans. Generally, robots die to short circuit, so you don't need extra damage to them. I didn't bother to pick up extra robot damage. So humans is where you get your most of your damage. Most of the enemies that you'll be fighting that you need to deal more damage to are going to be humans. So 7 cool is worth it for this to me. I wound up going 3 body, dumping body, because there's just no perks that I particularly wanted in body. It does prevent me from using certain guns like the power sniper. But that's fine. I'm fine with the Nico. So basically, I've got a pistol, a sniper rifle, and a katana. And that means that we're going into handguns, blades, and assault. So as far as int goes, we've got everything we need in order to do what I did in the first video that I made, the 20 int video, where we just clear an entire area with contagion. So basically, we get mass vulnerability. We don't need it to last very long, as you have probably seen. Just the 3 minutes is fine. Upgrade it to apply to all damage. Then these two, head start and compression, just make hacking easier. Uploads the first one and makes them shorter. Hackathon, probably not necessary, but what it does is shortens cooldowns. So like if you've got to keep uploading, like you don't clear it in one contagion and you have to keep uploading, you don't have to wait. As long as that combined with daisy chain. You're basically just cooldown management. It eliminates cooldowns for the most part, as long as you keep killing with your quick hacks. Then we've got the 2 ice pick ones, just reduces RAM cost. And then increases duration of daemon effects. This is for your this is better than increasing one at a time. 1 point to double all daemon effects I considered that good enough. But it also affects the ones that come from your cyberware. Which one? Weapon glitch and reboot optics. The legendary ones give you passive daemons. So it works on those too, I believe. So it's like 3 for the price of 1. I guess it works on Ice Pick as well. So okay, so quick hacking. As I mentioned, we have Daisy Chain. We've got Forget Me Not. This is worth the 1 point, I think. And then the 3 points to basically cooldowns don't exist when you have Daisy Chain and Hackathon, as long as you're killing. 100% more damage to unaware targets and 30% more damage is basically just gimmies, because you need to be able to kill people with your contagion. I don't know how these stack. I don't know if it's additive or multiplicative, but whatever. I mean, it's a lot of extra damage. So this one allows you to recover RAM in combat. That's just if you want to use hacking. Like, even when you don't clear, if you want to use hacking while you're fighting, this is pretty important. We've got quick hack duration, which helps with contagion, especially. That's basically 50% more damage. the critical hit is really important because contagion, critting, and procking. Where is it? It's here. Procking this. This is short circuits passive. Crit hits with any weapon, which includes other quick hacks. So crit hits with any weapon apply this quick hacks tier 1 effect. That's you basically just get free damage. You get a short circuit when you crit, and that includes when you crit with your quick hacks. So critting with quick hacks is important. It also just adds the more damage. Our base crit is 56 and 155 crit damage, so it just adds more damage. What else? We've got critting, we've got this. Oh yeah, so Plague increases jumps and Diffusion increases jump distance. And then also Contagion's passive increases jumps 1 more. So we get 4 extra jumps in addition to the number. So this is 2 jumps by default. 4 more means 6. So that's how it keeps bouncing around and hits like 7 people. It'll clear 7 people, or if there's 2 people that are really strong, it'll bounce between them. I'm like talking with my hands, you can't even see me. So that's what makes the build with regard to your ability to quick hack and just clear a room with quick hack. Now, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I had these unlocked. You need these to craft the legendary quick hacks. Unless you just want to wait to collect them from your breaches at random, you need to craft them with these 4 perks. Maybe you can skip one. I think you can buy the uncommon ones, but I'm not sure if you can get all of them. So you do this, and then you buy a Tabula E Rasa from a Cyberdoc, and then spec out of them. Because it's 4 perk points that you will never need again. I didn't bother to get device quick hack because I have so much RAM. When I need to hack a device, I just have it. It's fine. This one didn't seem to work. This sounds really good. It goes up to 4 with 3 investment, but it didn't work. I tested it and I was going down to 0. So I don't know what. Maybe it works differently than I expected, and even when you're at 0, you can make a 4-cost quick hack, but it seemed glitched to me, so I just didn't bother to have it on my latest respec. This one, it's okay. I don't find myself running out of RAM, and I don't really find myself hacking people who are already hacked. It's 1 is enough usually, so... I Spy is good if you find yourself being quick hacked a lot, but combat's so fast that I decided I didn't need it. I didn't need to spend the perk here, so all this stuff is money making stuff, or stuff like device daemons don't matter because you can just quick hack them. And money making I don't need because I have way too much money. Mostly from console shit, just because this playthrough I didn't want to deal with. So I found an infinite money, legit within the game, an infinite money creation, crafting cycle. But crafting raises your save file size, and even though they fixed the 8 megabyte limit, when your save file's over 8 megabytes, your load times are like 30 seconds or more. So I figured I know how to get infinite money. I would get infinite money. It's just a quality of life thing, consoling it in instead of doing the crafting, because it just bloats my load times. I don't want really, really long load times. So effectively, I have infinite money just because I know how to get it. But I consoled that in. So... it's like once you proved you can. So nothing in engineering. If you want to use tech weapons, it's worth it. The engineering tree is really good. Like the tech weapon Like 50% more damage for 1 point. This winds up being maybe 30 or 40 or something, maybe 50 for all three. These multipliers for tech weapons are incredibly good. But I don't like tech weapons that much. So immunity shock you don't need. You can get that on your clothes. Or cyberware if you have body or cool enough. I don't. But yeah, like extra charge. This one's a trap, Gun Whisperer. Ignores armor is really good, but like I don't like the way tech weapons work. I don't like you can't silence them. You can't silence sniper rifles anyway, and Nico's the only other sniper rifle, the only sniper rifle you can use with low strength. So I'm using a tech sniper, but I wasn't really a big fan of tech weapons. So nothing in engineering. I don't use grenades either, so that neither for that. Or smart, which there's like one smart weapon thing in here. This reload speed, whatever. Crafting. Again, I don't, because I can generate, I found a crafting loop that generates basically infinite materials. Instead of doing it, I just gave myself max materials. So I don't need any of the perks that give you more mats or anything like that. I have plenty. Like, I don't need to do that. So I don't spend on any of those. I don't use grenades. The ones that I do have are the buff to damage and armor. Disassembling gives you mods, which I may not need, but it helps me with mods. Just, I have a lot more mods this way. And then you need the ones to craft rare, legendary, and epic. All right, so last tree. We like I said, we don't have anything in body. The last tree. Oh, one thing to go over in Cold Blood. You buy Cold Blood. You buy 1 point here before you respec, and you level it up to 8 or whatever, 7 or whatever your max cool is, because it's just free perk points. 2 in this case, and health, stamina, resist. Armor, crit. Oh yeah, this is amazing. 10 crit chance across the board. So you definitely level up your Cold Blood, and then you spec out of it. So you want 1 point here as like first perk you ever buy here, because you can't level up Cold Blood without Cold Blood. All right, so last trees. These are the big ones. If you want to do all 3, you can do all 3. There are enough perks in the game to spec into all 3 of these weapon types. So this is mostly, I use this for sniping, but it works for SMGs and assault rifles and precision rifles as well. This is pistols, obviously, and then blades. So assault, I got I avoided crit chance, because my base crit chance plus the crit chance on guns it gets you to 100. I avoided weapon-specific crit chance in general, and it doesn't help you with hacking. So I want my crit chances to be the same across the board. So I didn't buy any crit chance. It feels like a waste, and it feels like it just makes the calculations harder. I'd like to get enough crit base that it makes my hacking almost always crit. Anyway, so I don't need extra crit from weapons, especially because the weapons themselves, if you roll them properly, give you crit. So so no crit perks ever. Crit damage perks, but no crit chance perks. So this increases crit chance, don't need it. There's a cyberware that accomplishes the same thing, don't need it. Same with this. Increases evasion after performing a dodge. I might buy this eventually. I just haven't had the points yet. This seems reasonable. I don't dodge a whole lot with guns out, though. Okay, Corral. Sounds decent. 50% more damage is good, but it only affects when enemies are low. And I did the math, and you would have to, like, in order to benefit from this, the enemy would have to have enough health that you need like 6 shots to kill them. And that's without even factoring in the extra damage from short circuit. So most enemies don't take 6 shots to kill. So you don't actually benefit from this because it only takes effect if you've gotten them to 25, and then you need extra damage at that point, and you're not going to one-shot them once they're below 25. So it's not that good when I have a build that one-shots stuff. It like you want front-loaded damage, you don't want back-loaded damage like this. Once again, no crit chance. I might get reload time, but I haven't really focused on stats like this yet. Same with holster time. These will be stretch goals, I guess. Damage might be worth getting, but the 3% for 3 points you get 10%. That just didn't seem like a good enough rate to me, so I didn't do this yet. Same with on assault. I didn't get the damage for 3% per point. Limbs, I don't shoot limbs. I shoot heads. Crit chance again, don't need it. Especially this one requires you to fully mod your weapons, which I haven't really yet. But once again, I'm not even getting this crit one. So last round, when you one shot, generally you don't go to your last round. I reload between kills a lot of the time. Again, this is backloaded damage. I don't like it. Even with a small mag, not really worth it. Enables you to shoot pistols and revolvers while dodging. Once again, yeah, there's a cyberware that does this, and I have it. So what I did get is after defeating an enemy, fire rate increases. Probably the least important one. Especially because I use a revolver. The fire rate's not that big of a deal, but, you know, it's DPS. So, if you are killing a bunch of people in a row, I believe it helps. But crit damage, that's important. 20% crit damage. When you crit every time, that's just damage. Damage with pistols, 5+ meters away. It turns out, let me call a car. Where is my car? It turns out 5 meters is very close. So let's go. Where is it driving away from me? Get over here. So it turns out 5 meters is very close. This is 5 meters, more or less. You generally shoot people further than this. Since I'm spec'ing a katana, if they're closer than this, I just pull out my katana. So this is barely situational, this perk. It's just damage. Headshot damage multiplier with pistols. I shoot heads generally, so that's almost just damage as well. Especially my headshot multipliers are already insane. 6.8, or I think it's 6. Sometimes it glitches out, but at least 6 on the Overture, the Legendary Overture, that I rolled. Like, I could go into rolling weapons too if you want. Reduces recoil. This is a lot of reduced recoil for 1 point, so I just bought it, whatever. Removes damage penalty from a distance. That's basically free damage as well. I don't want to deal with, like, oh, am I too far? You have to pull out my sniper rifle, so no need to worry about it anymore with that. Consecutive shots at the same target. This is backloaded damage. I'm iffy about it. But I guess if I'm gonna ever switch to like one of those like really rapid fire tech weapons, or the one that's what is it called? like the loaf. I call it the loaf. The one the Dying Knight is based on. I can get you the exact name. This one. The M Loaf Lexington. It just lets you use those better. I didn't wind up going that way, so I might not need that perk, but it's 1 point instead of investing heavily in backloaded damage. Oh, did I not go over assault yet? Okay, so that was handguns. Same thing. Oh, moving enemies. This is too situational. I don't know whether enemies move enough to benefit from this. I don't really want to be limited to cover. I mean, some of the cover ones are decent, armor and resistances, but if you're behind cover, you're probably not getting hit anyway. So this one doesn't seem great to me. Crit chance, especially no crit chance perks. So this one, there's two issues. It's situational and crit chance. Damage, I already went over why not that. Aim down sights, again, that and other like timing things. Reload time, I just haven't spent the perks on yet, but I'll try them out. Quick melee, I don't really melee with guns. I'll switch to my sword. Reload time, again, haven't invested in that yet. Recoil behind cover. This one seems good, but again, I didn't really want to be limited to behind cover. Especially when I'm just sniping, I don't usually need cover because I'm just so damn far away. Same with damage behind cover here. And ricochets I don't do. So what I did get is the recoil reduction. That's especially beneficial on rifles because rifles are full auto, most of them, except the sniper rifle. Rifle and submachine gun damage increases the further you're located from enemies. I don't know what the factor on this is, but it's free damage. It's 1 point. I snipe, so seems worth. Deal 25% more damage with rifles and submachine guns to enemies whose health is above 50. This is the opposite of this one. This is front-loaded damage. This is free damage when you one-shot stuff. Basically, because I insta-kill stuff, it always is in effect. It's just 25% more damage. Damage while aiming, I almost always aim, especially sniping. It's free damage. Again, this is 1 point for 10, whereas this is 3 points for 10, so definitely a better rate. Headshot damage with sniper rifles and precision rifles. So this is good. 30%, just like the total from pistols, but it only affects sniper rifles. But I do use them, so I figured it was worth it. Defeating an enemy. So this is the one reload time I got. It's because it's just so much. It's 40% for 2 points, and I usually reload after I kill something, so it was really good reload time. Crit damage. That's free damage when you crit every time. Headshot reduces recoil. That's more recoil reduction. Really good on rifles. Increases damage when standing still. I generally stand still when I'm using rifles. I feel like pistols and blades are the more mobile ones. So more free damage here, 35%. Blades. Same philosophy about front-loaded damage. I didn't bother to get the damage while missing. I didn't bother with bleed. I might get this eventually. Unfortunately, even when you get all three, it doesn't. Your net. I'm not actually sure if it works. I tested it and I couldn't see it working. Maybe it only works with blades, but I think even when you have all three, the net is output. Like you still spend stamina, but still it might be worth it. Dodging does increase damage by 50%, so dodging with a sword is good if you aren't one-shotting things, but I kind of already am, so once again, no crit chance. I already crit every shot. Successful counterattacks. I don't really counterattack. I tried. Most enemies don't have swords. or melee weapons, and I tried like sword fighting somebody, and they just wouldn't do it. Like they just stood there. And when you one shot, like you don't really do extended sword fights. You just hit them. So I didn't bother to get this. While wielding a blade, defeating an enemy restores 20% health and increases movement speed. This is pretty good because melee, you take more damage than other play styles. Killing somebody, restoring health really helps. And then there's also this one. When you apply bleeding or hit an enemy who's bleeding, you get 10% health. It keeps you healthy when you're taking damage. Though, unfortunately, high-level stuff one-shots me a lot of the time because I'm playing on very hard, so I don't know. It seems good enough for 3 points. Reduces stamina cost. This is important. Stamina is a huge deal for melee until you get stuff like this. Reducing it by 50% just makes I don't worry about stamina anymore. Armor increase while moving. With blades, you move a lot. It seems like a decent buy. Stuff that makes you not get one shot means that you can benefit from this stuff and you can run around better. But as I demonstrated in one of my videos, if you hack people first, they can't shoot you, so you just run around and stab them while they're fumbling with their weapon and blind. So arguably not important. I bought this like last. I think these are like some of my last 2 points. But, you know, less times that you need to reload because you died stochastically on average. Defensive attacks with blades deal 300% more damage. Now, a defensive attack is this. That's a defensive attack. I don't ever use it. It does very little damage. And there's really no time where you ever need it because you can stop blocking and do a regular strike and it does a lot more damage. However, apparently there's a glitch that makes this apply to heavy attacks. And a heavy attack is what you do out of stealth to do the most damage. Or strong attack, rather. So strong attacks, 50% more damage. Strong attacks, 300% more damage. Your strong attacks wind up doing hundreds of thousands of damage. Excuse me. So, if they are fix this, probably not worth getting. Even with this perk, defensive attacks don't one-shot. So, defensive attack, not worth it. So, it's only worth it if it applies to strong attack, which I believe it does. Increase attack speed, that's just DPS. It also means, like, if you've got a group of 3 people, it means you can kill them all faster because you can only hit one of them at a time with a sword. It's not like the, what is it called? The mono wire where it has cleaving. So it not only is it DPS, but it's if you one-shot people, it lets you take out groups faster. So good stuff. Combo with blades have 30% chance to apply bleeding. So this I bought not because I care about bleeding. As I said, dot doesn't matter when you one-shot stuff, but it applies bloodlust more often. So I did it just so that I can heal more. And this, again, like the assault one, applying or doing more damage to 100%. Doing more damage to max health enemies when you're one-shotting people is just more damage. So 100% doubles your damage, very good. All right, so those are my perks. Weapons, of course, legendary weapons. I generally focus. You can actually roll weapons by load, like save scumming, or if you're crafting them up, like if it's a legendary and you do the craft up, where like it starts blue and then you turn it purple and then you turn it yellow, orange. It'll re-roll which stats are boosted. So you want to save scum until you get crit chance, crit damage, and then attack speed on melee or headshot on guns. So all of my weapons are crit chance, crit damage, and either attack speed or headshot damage. Or sometimes you'll get something weird like... oh, this car doesn't have a trunk. Sometimes you'll get something weird. Uh-oh, he's gonna call. Like, for instance, this one, instead of other bonuses, it has eliminates horizontal recoil. So those sometimes are worth doing. I made a video about this gun, too. If you want a certain play style, like Buzzsaw is another one. Where is that? Gives you high penetration.
This time, I need to restore the natural balance.
Oy.
A Valentino traffic cop has gone unpunished.
Okay, so yeah, basically, I didn't roll Dying Night or Chaos the right way because I didn't care about these guns that much. But basically everything else in here except this one and this one, all have the right stats. I don't even bother keeping weapons that don't have those 3 stats rolled. Unless they're iconic or have a unique mod, or in this case, this gun didn't have any sort of extra stats, so I'm not sure if this gun can get those. So I'm just keeping it till I find a better one, I guess. Not that I really use shotguns or smart guns, but whatever. So that's how I do weapons. I haven't really worked on armor yet. As you can see, none of these have any mods yet. But you know, I obviously crit and the ones that like bully, and I don't have one that gives crit chance outside, but you want the 2 crit ones, or there's one legendary mod that gives both at the same time. That works too. And then you probably want immunity to burn, immunity to poison and shock, and immunity to bleeding. At least. And then the rest, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I haven't done armor mods yet. What else is in here? Okay, so that's basically items. Anti-personnel is the best grenade as far as I know. I like Bounce Back Mark III because it gives you more. But I rarely use health because most things one-shot me. That's a cool ring. All right, Edgelord ring. So the last thing I believe is cyberware. Let's go over that. That's inventory and cyberware. So crit damage, crit chance, negates quick hacks. I generally like that one just because I think it stops the reveal position. And also, it's just survivability when somebody's offensively quick hacking you. It's rare that you get quick hacked twice in 45 seconds because you usually can go after the guy who's quick hacking you and kill him. Obviously, the Mark III here. I went with headshot damage, crit chance. But this is probably the weakest of them because once again I crit. I mean, this helps with the hacking crits, but once again my crit is maxed with guns because the guns all have crit on them, and then threat detector just for the highlight because I haven't found like if there's a crit damage one, I would replace either crit chance or threat detector with it, but I haven't found it yet if it exists. These, you don't really have a lot of choices for these when you have low body. So obviously Biomonitor is the best one in circulatory, at least of what you can get with low body. There might be some high body things that are really good, but I think I would always probably have Biomonitor in circulatory. In this case, white Biomonitor is the best I can do with 3 bodies. So Adrenaline Booster and Microgenerator are basically the only ones that really benefit me. Microgenerator is good if you're meleeing. It can stop whatever's hurting you as like a last-ditch attempt to not die. So kind of similar to Biomonitor. Adrenaline Booster, I just threw in there because there wasn't really much else in here that benefited me in particular that I had the stats to use. There's also the one that heals you when you use a charged weapon. But I don't really use tech weapons. So if you were using tech weapons a lot, you'd use that instead. I guess this helps a bit with melee though. You never run out of stamina when you're one-shotting stuff. Cataresist and Shock and Awe, once again, not much in immune without higher stats. These are basically my only options, I think. Now, Kerenzikov is what I'm talking about. Allows you to aim and shoot while dodging. That's why you don't need those perk points. Slows time when you do it. This is better than Sandavestin or whatever it's called, in my opinion, because you get it on demand rather than once for a while and then a long cooldown. Plus, you can't hack with Sandavestin or whatever it's called. I'm butchering the name, I know, but I like Kerenzikov a lot. And then the other one's a maneuvering system. You can also, I like using it for distance. You can also do the one that gives you the same sort of time slow, but when an enemy notices you, that's a solid one. But I like being able to...
Covering for the guy that I'll pay extra.
Oh, I can't, while he's talking, this call. I like being able to do this. Gives you a lot of distance, so... helps with the parkour. So yeah, I really enjoy the maneuvering system. Again, without cooler body, you only get ground plating and subdermal armor here. I couldn't even fill it with a third one. There isn't a third one. Obviously, you get the best one. Netwatch Net Driver is for the contagion spreading build. Like if you're using the ultimate quick hacks, you want the ultimate one. But I mostly do the contagion spreading. Netwatch Net Driver is just the best offensive spreading deck. So you get it from one of the cyber docks that's outside of Watson, so you have to wait until the heist is over to get it. Even if you wind up getting your street level really high before the heist, the docks don't sell it to you out in Watson. I forget which dock does, but you can look it up online. But this one, I guess it uploads to 3 targets without a bounce right away, which I'm not sure how the bouncing works. I don't know if it'll I don't know if each one will spread 7 times or whatever. But I've never had it not spread enough. So I assume this gives you 21 bounces. It's pretty absurd. Increases damage, that's pretty straightforward. Increases RAM recovery rate. Helpful if you're hacking in combat, but if you're killing stuff, you get the RAM back anyway. And the spread distance is important because it lets you clear buildings and stuff. If the spread distance isn't high enough, you wouldn't jump sometimes when you otherwise might. As far as hacks, ping lets you. I think ping is the first one I do all the time. It lets you see all the enemies, and it lets you hack them through walls. It's important. It's you. The first enemy you see, you want to ping them. Contagion is how you kill everybody. And it also increases your jumps, which works with itself, I believe. Short Circuit, I guess I'll use it to finish somebody off, as you can see in the first video I did, the int video. But for the most part, this is for its passive. The fact that it just adds free damage every time you crit is amazing, even when you're not hacking, because it works on your sword strikes, it works on your pistol shots, it works on your rifle shots, it works on melee. It works on unexpected things. Like apparently somebody said online that it works on when you hit somebody with your car. So like this is amazing. It's free damage, especially when you build crits all the time. Reboot optics and weapon glitch are I barely use these when quick hacking. They're mostly for the daemon. And then the last one is your choice. I've had it be Sonic Shock in order to kill people one at a time without them noticing me. I've had it be Cyber Psychosis to eliminate the friendly fire. I'm currently trying Synapse Burnout to see if I can get people to panic. And I don't know if Short Circuit will make, like the Short Circuit proc will make them panic. I haven't been able to tell. But you know, I'm trying it out. So this last one's discretionary. It's your call. Whatever your favorite quick hack is. Bionic Joints and Dense Marrow. These are kind of your choice, but these are the ones I went with. This one because my blades have 50% less stamina, adding 10% back isn't that big of a deal. Increases melee weapon damage just across the board. I think it's worth it. I had the attack speed here for a while, but I think reducing recoil is probably a good call. If you're mostly doing melee, I would go back to attack speed instead of recoil. But I think reducing recoil is a pretty good plan. This one doesn't matter. I don't really ricochet. I don't really use smart guns. It didn't matter. I just picked one. If you ricochet, you'll want the ballistic crow processor, and if you want to use smart guns, you'll want the smart link. Mantis blades. I don't ever use the weapon in my one slot. But if I ever find myself without weapons, Mantis blades are going to be the one that benefits from my build the most. So I pick Mantis blades. I would probably be using the what is it called? The monkey fists, gorilla hands. If they didn't make my right arm darker than my left arm, and that sort of thing really bugs me. I don't know if it's a glitch, if it's supposed to happen, but it was bothering me. So I went with Mantis blades. Because I don't use it anyway, I would probably prefer having my punches be stronger. If I ever needed to punch, but yeah, Mantis blades is fine. The katana is much better. I think sensory amplifier might modify everything, not just when you're attacking with the Mantis blades, but I'm not sure. So I went with crit damage instead of crit chance. Attack speed. I think this is the only thing you can put here, so I put the best one in. Electrical. I don't know why I would pick any of them in particular, but I picked electrical because it looks the coolest, in my opinion. So, and I haven't found. I know there's a legendary gorilla hands, one that makes it bleed instead. I haven't found that for if there's one for Mantis blades. I haven't found it, so I would replace it with the legendary one when I get it. And then legs, you've already seen me use it. The midair jump, which I like better than the double. I like the double jump better than the other one because it gives you more lateral distance, and it still gives you pretty good height too. So I'm not really trading off that much. It just feels like I have more control with it than if I were to have to sit there and charge a jump. So yeah, that's my build. You can watch me probably die to cops now.
I'm in trouble.
Yep. Here you go.